Hello again. So, anyhow, I think the microphone's working this time. My last little live stream was all muted, it didn't work, but this is what I want to do. I just wanted to start again, let you know that I just was talking about my thoughts on social media, but I actually felt really good after I got those thoughts out, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I can kind of move on. It was just a little bit of a talk about how I like social media, but I like to put limits on its use. Even like when it comes to my phone use, I like to put my phone away for 4 hours at a time. I don't want to constantly be on my phone and just always texting or always like messaging people on Instagram. And basically, the bulk of that whole video was I felt like in the beginning, when I first started my Instagram account for my hair channel, I felt like a little pressured to start messaging people there because they'd be like, I messaged you on Instagram. But it's like they weren't invested in what I was doing on YouTube. And I never should have done that. Like, I didn't message hundreds of people, but I'd message people here and there. And I don't know. I always felt like, oh, like they watch my channel, I should reach out. But you know what? I never liked it because I was never a chatter being. But it would be these people, they felt like they had the right or the expectation that you message them. But then I thought about it. No, I felt like I had to do that. I didn't have to do that. I could have just like not messaged them. So like going forward after just like, I don't know, another situation where this person seemed nice, but they were messaging me and kind of making me feel uncomfortable. Like, because they were kind of just using me as a vehicle to try and communicate with this other person. And I don't like that. And I even told them, hey, I don't think if you don't know somebody in real life, maybe you shouldn't be messaging them that much. And especially like some people have boundaries and they don't really like just getting a lot of random messages. A lot of women don't. And I know like some men might use the excuse or say, oh, because I'm neurotypical, I don't pick up on that. But yeah, you do. You know, because anybody who's gone to school or has some knowledge of social media knows that it's not really like acceptable to just be messaging like random women that you don't know and then just kind of it'd always be like a discussion on a certain topic that was just really important to them. Look, some people do enjoy messaging on social media, but I just felt like I always was obligated to do that. And it was never something that I loved. Like, I never really loved always being on Instagram and messaging people. It just wasn't something that I had a high need for. And I realized recently, last Thursday, I don't want to do that anymore. I kind of made a couple of videos talking about it. I might still message a couple of people here and there, but if people really like my content, they could watch my YouTube videos and they could comment on my YouTube videos. And the one thing that just always kind of bothered me a little was they'd be like, what, I need to privately message you. And that's a little creepy, dude, because we're not in a relationship, we're not like friends in real life. Why do you need to privately message me? What do you have to say to me privately that you can't just say on a video? Well, a lot of times you know where that goes. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, like, some people are just genuinely nice and they're thoughtful or they're just sweet and they just want to talk about a certain topic. But then if you're not a chatter being, you feel like obligated to, like, I don't know, just be messaging all the time. And it's not that I'm anti-messaging. It's just like I feel like I always never really want to kind of always be staring at my phone, because I've just noticed sometimes if you're looking at your phone a lot, especially if you're out, you're not as aware of your surroundings. And I feel like it can be a little bit dangerous. And I also feel like it keeps you from interacting with people in real life. And people are always like, but we need dating apps. And honestly, I don't even really date a lot. Like, I just date people I meet in person, and I don't use dating apps. Years ago I used a couple like websites, but if I did date someone in the near future, it would be somebody that I knew in real life. Like, I have no interest in like going on the internet and meeting somebody that I'm not going to know in day-to-day life, because my personal opinion is, how do you know like that things would work out with that person. And anybody who thinks like, yeah, like online dating is a great solution, it really isn't unless you get to know somebody like really fast. And I know like some women are like, oh no, 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 you can't do that. You have to talk for weeks. And I'm like, that's kind of where the problem starts. How do you know this person? You don't know this person in real life. And the few times I did use like a dating website, we met pretty quick and we were able to like see like what we had in common, because you could message with somebody for weeks and then you meet in person and it might not work out. I just think, and honestly, I'm not a big dater. I also just decided, just for myself, because hey, maybe it's good to like interact with people, because even when I went on the date with tow truck guy, I don't know, I call him that, like I had a car that he refused to get fixed and he thought was perfectly okay to like let it be cold in your car in December and refuse to like get a new car to fix the heater. Like that, you know, that's his prerogative, but I don't know, that just didn't really sit well with me. And then I don't know, I just thought that was weird. And then they'll all like, oh, I'm like, I'm separated but not divorced thing. And that's just one example. So I also don't really, you need to get to know people. So if you're online, that's just an example. And I learned that all like in person when we had our first in person like dinner back in December. And totally nice guy, just not for me, because yeah, no. Anyhow, I just don't know how people get to know each other on it. Like, you can say that you're messaging people, but or maybe people just want friends. I just personally think you can be friendly with people without having to message people you don't really know. I just kind of don't really get it. But I think people that are maybe looking to date online, maybe they want to message more on Instagram or something. I just personally don't have a big need for it. And if I'm going to meet somebody, like, because that's what most of the messages are about, okay? That's what most of the messages are about, like, just to be, these people are not messaging me for, like, because they want me to review a product or something, which that's what I want to do, honestly. Like, I like doing that. They're messaging me because they want to know, like, do I want to date them or am I available and blah, blah, blah. And that's cool if that's what you're looking for, but that's not what I'm looking for. So I just decided, as of this Thursday, I am not engaging with those messages on the Instagram thing, because that's not why I made either of my Instagram accounts. They were just to kind of promote my YouTube videos. And that's what the last video was about, but it got muted. So I decided to do it again. Well, it's a little bit different. What I said in that video was a little bit different than what I'm saying now. But I just felt like I got out that, because I'm the kind of person, I actually do have a really, like, I'm very sympathetic to people. And I do like to talk to people. And I do like to meet new people. Even though I'm introverted, I truly am interested in, like, hearing other people's stories and things. But the thing I don't like is like when people like use me as a go-between to try, because they think like maybe they'd be able to date a certain person that they see online because they're talking to me. And I don't like that. Or I don't like people who think like, oh yeah, I'm into like certain, I don't know, whatchamacallit things, but I'm not into any of that. So I just decided I'm done with messaging. Yeah, I made a video about it on Instagram saying I'm done responding to all these messages. Maybe a couple of people I know, but or that I feel friendly with, but not these random messages. It's just too much, and I just feel more at peace of mind not responding to those messages. So I just feel like when it comes to social media, just put a parameter on it, like put a limit on it. Like, you don't have to completely get rid of it. All you have to say is, hey, I don't really want to look at my phone today. It's, for me, that's just what I do. Or I want to go 4 or 5 hours without responding to all these messages. Or maybe just not message anybody at all. Like, I'm feeling like right now, I don't feel a need to message people really, because that wasn't something that I ever initiated. Like, I didn't initiate that. They were always wanting to message me instead of just watch my videos. And it's just too much, and I'm just not really keen on it because, yeah, a lot of it started going down a certain road where, nah, I'm not interested in that. But there's probably a lot of people who are into that, so you guys probably can find a lot of people. And the funny thing is, like, if they're messaging you, they're messaging a lot of people, and it's just like going fishing or something. So I don't know, like. Social media is funny like that. But then the other thing I was talking about is I've just decided I'm not going to comment on videos that have like a heated stance about something, because a lot of things in this world are definitely just somebody's opinion, and we're able to react and have our own opinion, and we don't have to get mad about everything. And I just feel like, for my peace of mind, it's not like, I like to find the humor in life. Like, I love to see the humorous side of life and to find a reason to smile. I don't need to always be upset about things all the time. In fact, like, no, life's too short. Like, I don't need to find, like, there are people in, like, the Ukraine and Syria that would love to have a house where they could, like, just sit and enjoy their time and relax, but they're living in war-torn countries. So isn't it kind of presumptuous of us in the, countries where you don't have to worry about walking outside and maybe having your family member killed because of conflict? Isn't it presumptuous of us to spend all of our time arguing and debating with people on the internet about things that really won't matter in 20 years? I mean, maybe some things do matter to some people, and some people just really have strong convictions about things. But I don't think it makes you a more validated person just because your life is based on a conviction. I honestly love people who make humor and happiness their life's mission. Like, that's kind of cool. Not to taunt other people, not that kind of humor, but just finding the humorous side of life and not being triggered by, like, I don't want to be triggered by everything. So I'm choosing, just for myself, to stay away from, like, discussions, and I don't need to comment on things that just seem so, like, controversial. And I think that's what people do. Like, they make videos like that for engagement. Like, oh my gosh, they say something like, I don't like this person said that, and then you react to them, and then you go back to the original person's video, and it's like a yo-yo, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. And yeah, I don't need that. I really don't need that. Do you need it? Like, if it makes you feel good deep down, maybe you should engage in that. But personally, I just think we're all better without it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That is my thought on that. And yes, thanks for watching. And I just wanted to add audio since the audio was cut out on the last video. And have a wonderful